Good morning, friends. Welcome to Storytime with Whitingfield MWR Library. I'm Miss Kelli, and I'm excited to read with you. October is National Book Month, and today is National Pumpkin Seed Day. So our first book today is Froggy Picks a Pumpkin. The author who wrote the words is Johnathan London. The illustrator who drew the pictures is Frank Remkowitz. Froggy picks a pumpkin. At school, Froggy read a poster. Don't forget, trip to the pumpkin patch tomorrow. Pumpkin picking contest. Next morning, Froggy woke up and looked out the window. A beautiful pumpkin moon was setting and colorful leaves were falling. Leaves, leaves, cried Froggy. I want to go out and play in the... Oops. He fell out of bed. Thump. Froggy, called his mother. What? Stop jumping off the bed, dear. Today is your field trip. Oh, yeah, cried Froggy. It's time to pick a pumpkin. And he hopped up and got dressed. Zip, zoop. Zap, 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 zap. And flopped into the kitchen. Flop, 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 singing. Pumpkins, pumpkins, muffins and pie, pumpkin faces lighting the sky. He ate his breakfast of cereal and flies. Munch, crunch, munch, and imagined a steaming pumpkin pie. Yum! And a whole line of jack-o'-lanterns outside, lighting the night sky. On the school bus, Froggy bounced in his seat, boing, 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 and led all his friends singing. Pumpkins, pumpkins, muffins and pie, pumpkin faces lighting the sky. When they got to the pumpkin patch, he jumped off the bus, flop, 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 and sang, I'm going to pick a pumpkin, I'm going to pick a pumpkin. Froggy, called his teacher, Miss Witherspoon. What? Wait, dear, we're going to have a pumpkin picking contest for the biggest, smallest, prettiest, ugliest, and best all-around pumpkin. Yippee! Cried Froggy, and he took off again. Flop, 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 and tripped over a pumpkin, flew through the air, and knocked into another pumpkin. Bonk! Max bounced over 3 small pumpkins and tried to pick up a huge one. It didn't budge. Ugh! Travis said, Step aside, and lifted it up. Matthew zigzagged around Max, Travis, and Froggy and picked up the prettiest pumpkin in the world. It was shiny and perfect and just the right size. Froggalina twirled and danced through the pumpkin patch, then squatted down and said, Hello, my sweet, and picked up a very small, very dark orange pumpkin and kissed it. Smooch! Froggy hopped up on a gigantic pumpkin and looked all around like a pirate on the bow of a ship and shouted, Ahoy there! And he leapfrogged over Froggalina. He leapfrogged over Max. He leapfrogged over Matthew. Flop, flop, splat! And fell smack across a really big pumpkin. He stood up and said, This is the one, and he tried to pick it up. He got it up to his knees. Huff! He got it up to his chest. Yes! Then he trudged along with his huge pumpkin. Lug, lug, ugh. Froggy, called Mrs. Witherspoon. What? You're going the wrong way." "Oops," said Froggy, and started huffing. Max yelled, "Last one in is a rotten egg." Everybody else ran with their pumpkins, and Travis rolled his big one. Rumble, rumble, rumble. When Froggy finally got there, he was too pooped to pop, and tripped and smashed his pumpkin. Smush! "Oops," cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. Everybody laughed, even Miss Witherspoon. Then she said, "And now for the winners of the pumpkin picking contest. For biggest, Travis. For smallest, Max." Max lifted his hat, and there atop his head was a pumpkin the size of a golf ball. For prettiest, Matthew, and for best all around, Froggalina. Hers is a pie pumpkin, great for baking. Froggalina said, "Hello, my sweet," and kissed it. Smooch! Then Miss Witherspoon said, "And for the ugliest, yours, Froggy. What a mess!" And everybody cheered. Hip, hip, hooray! Even Froggy. And on the bus ride home, Froggy sang, "Pumpkins, pumpkins, muffins and pie, pumpkin faces lighting the sky." And all his friends sang with him. Our next book is Stumpkin. The author who wrote the words is Lucy Ruth Cummins. Stumpkin. It was a few days before Halloween. Outside a little shop in a big city, a shopkeeper placed some pumpkins on the shelves. A girl came and looked at the pumpkins. When she was done, she picked one up and carried it away. The other pumpkins worried about their friend. But later, they spotted him across the street and way up high. He was a jack-o'-lantern. Beneath his lovely stem, he now had 2 triangle eyes, a nose, and a giant toothy smile. He had a new home, a perch all to himself high above the street. What more could anyone want, thought the pumpkins. They were thrilled for their friend, and thrilled that they too might one day be jack-o'-lanterns. They were all happily lost in thought, imagining themselves as jack-o'-lanterns, when one pumpkin realized something was very wrong. Poor little pumpkin, poor little stemless pumpkin, with just a stump, not a stem. Poor little Stumpkin. Still, there was plenty to like about Stumpkin. He was a handsome pumpkin, as orange as a traffic cone. He was as big as a basketball and twice as round. Stem shmem, who knows? Some people might even prefer a stemless pumpkin. Days passed and more people came. Some pumpkins left. Some pumpkins stayed. It wasn't yet Halloween. There were still plenty of windows that needed jack-o'-lanterns. Who would be lucky enough to take home Stumpkin, as orange as an orange? As big as a basketball, round. He was very nearly the perfect pumpkin. Very nearly, truly. The next day, new people came. And the shopkeeper's cat settled on Stumpkin's smooth top. Then it happened. A brilliant baby chose Stumpkin until a bad dog ruined it, and the baby changed his mind. Oh, well, thought Stumpkin. It was the day of Halloween. There were still a few empty windows. 2 were left on the shopkeeper's shelf. A boy came, and when the boy left, Stumpkin remained. The gourd, thought Stumpkin. I guess that's that. It was Halloween night, and the shop had closed. There were no more days left. The shopkeeper scooped up poor Stumpkin and carried him off. Stumpkin would not be getting a window, and he wouldn't be getting a new home. He already had a home. And that made Stumpkin very, very happy. The end. I hope you enjoyed reading with me to celebrate October's National Pumpkin Seed Day. Join me each Wednesday on our Whitingfield MWR Facebook page for more Storytime adventures. Have a wonderful day. Bye.